spectacle performance. Performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance. Unforgettable performance. Thoroughly unforgettable performance.
Welcome curling fans across Ontario and around the world to another exciting season of curling on Title Sports Live.
85.
Today we have live coverage of the Ontario U21 Men's and Women's Curling Championship being held here at the Annandale Golf and Curling Club in Ajax, Ontario. My name is Mary Chilvers and I'm joined here today by the 2018 Canadian Mixed Champion, Danielle Inglis. Good afternoon, Danielle.
Hello, Mary. It's so great to be here and to be part of the Ontario U21 Championship. This event features some of the top young curlers from all around the province competing for a chance to represent Ontario at the National U21 event being held January 13th through 21st in Shawinigan, Quebec.
And on today's featured game, we are showing the men's final. We have Team WILLSEY up against Team Hall.
So both of these teams taking a different path to the final. So Team WILLSEY had to bye directly to the final by virtue of their round robin game. So they went undefeated, 7-0, to get this bye straight to the final. Whereas Team Hall, with a 5-2 record throughout the week, went through a semifinal we saw this morning live streamed, and they defeated Team Leung to punch their ticket to this final.
Right, and we have another game out there today. We have the women's semifinal, where we have Team Wallingford playing against Team Little. Little beating Team Steele this morning in a tiebreaker game. So we're going to keep our eye on that one too, Danielle.
Absolutely. So for the women's game, it's great. They're right on the sheet next door, so we'll be able to get close glimpses. To give you more information about the women's side and how it's been shaking down, Team Wallingford, to get to the semifinal, they won their first 4 games, dropped 1 game to Team Rosanne, and bounced back with a win over Team Little, and lost in their last round robin game to Team Murphy, and that resulted in Team Murphy getting a bye directly to the final. And Team Little they've had sort of more of a roller coaster of a week, but they won their first game, lost their next two to Team Murphy and Team Warner, won against Team Rosan and Team Chemo. They lost to Team Wallingford and then kicked off 2 more wins. So their last round robin game against Team Ald, and then of course this morning against Team Steel. So they seem to be on an upward swing at this point, though Team Wallingford is going to be a tough team to beat.
Right, but that game this morning between Little and Steel came right down to the last rock. It was a really good game, very close game. So, and I think, with Little playing this morning, maybe a slight advantage going into this afternoon's game.
Yeah, sometimes when you're on a roll and you're just continuing to play, that can always be a great positive for a team. There's something to be said, though, for Team Wallingford also having the morning off and getting a chance to have more of a sleep in. Though we did see them at the club watching the end of the last tiebreaker game.
Right.
Line's good.
And I guess you could say the same for the WILLSEY team. They had
Line's
the whole morning
great.
off.
A hair tighter
relax.
than the last one.
While Hall was out here playing this morning, I think these two teams are very evenly matched. I think we're going to see a good one today.
Well, and we had seen them both play earlier on this week, and you've got talent and experience on both sides. You have Team Mad Hall. They won this last year. They represented Ontario at the U21 National Championships, and where they ended up with the silver medal. So great showing on a national level. And then Team WILLSEY has been a strong team all year as well. They're ranked number 2 on the Ontario Junior Curling Tour Circuit. It would be remiss if we didn't mention Team Hall's ranking on the OJCT circuit, which is number 1. So both these teams, they've been the top all season, and so it's only fitting that these two teams are also in the junior U21 final.
Right. I think we're just going to get underway here. Team WILLSEY will have Hammer getting the bye to the final.
Damn.
And because they beat Team Hall in the round robin, that means that they had choice of Hammer or Rocks, so they selected Hammer. It's worth to note that all of the teams out here, once you get to the final and there's only a few sheets going, they're able to select their rocks from various other sheets across the club. So the men had the selection of the rocks from the odd number sheets, the women had selection from the even number. So always great to take Hammer in that case. There's got to be at least one match pair out there for each color.
Line's going to be fine.
It's fine. Line's good. Line's good.
Yep. Great start, Davey. Good throw.
So Matt is starting off, putting up a center line guard. So we're going to get right into it here.
This is the same way we saw them start off their round robin game against each other. Center line guard and immediately getting right into play. That's showing the confidence of each team and their comfort level.
Throughout the week, we saw most teams put their first rock in the house. For the first and for sure, sometimes for the second as well.
It's also a strategy for some of the teams to do that to bank some time, but when we watch the WILLSEY team and the Hall team play, despite having more rocks in play, they're very quick. They had the fifth end break, they were the most ahead of time that we'd seen throughout the entire week. So you can play a more offensive game and still have more than enough time left on the clock.
Line's going to be okay. Line's good, Jeff. Line's going to be good. Top 4. Line's going to be good. Come on, guys. Yep. Go. You got it. Go. Great start, Davey. Good pair.
Hack.
So this is the spot on the ice that can run on the 4-foot line. But if you manage to get inside, you can see will catch the curl, but it needs some patience.
Normal.
And both of these teams have played on the sheet throughout the week, and you talk about advantages of potentially playing more, as we spoke of, Mary, and Team Hull has now had a second opportunity to play on the sheet before this final.
Hard! Hard to it, right to it, right to it. You got it. Yep. Good. Good, buddy.
So we mentioned that the next level to this, the Canadian Championship, is in Shawinigan. Now, have you ever been there, Danielle? Have you even heard of it?
I admit I've never been there, and I had to Google it when I went to find out where it is, and a little bit
Really
north.
Hard!
In the northern region of Quebec, I believe.
Yeah.
Hard! Hard! Hard, Brendan! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Just barely touched that guard.
Northern, it's just north of Trois-Rivières.
Okay. So way north of Montreal.
Yeah. So it's not the most northern place you could be in Quebec by any stretch of the imagination, but it's further north than most curlers end up going.
Yeah.
But I know through interactions with the host committee that they're very excited and they can't wait for the curlers to get there, and they're ready to put on a good show.
Okay, good throw. One or two more, yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Well, speaking of the national
Yep,
championship,
right to it.
that's when you go in there with Team Ontario on your back. Mary, you've been there before. What's it like to have that experience? What kind of pressure comes along with that?
Well, yeah, I think the province of Ontario has always been known to be fairly strong in this sport, so I guess the expectations are fairly high when you get to the Canadian Championship to do well. I know in the past some of the more Western teams, there was always a bit of a rivalry between the West and Ontario. More so, I think, in the men's.
Yeah. Well, the powerhouses are certainly out west as well.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, we're so lucky in Ontario at all levels, the junior level and the adult level, to have so many competitions here. And even though it's a big province and we're very spread out, we have such a depth of field.
That's good, Jeff. That's good. Good throw.
I think that was max ice. I thought I threw it good. Board. I like the weight out of my hand. Like, it felt like it's definitely like good speed there, but. Yep. Oh, clean. Whoa. Clean. Yep.
Again, we've got two great sweeping teams out here today.
It's good. Nice shot.
They backed that rock up
They did,
6 inches.
and held it.
Yeah.
It might grab a little bit. Okay, stay close though, Dave. That's good ice.
We had spoken during our morning game about how crucial it is to have great sweeping and how many more shots you can make as a result. If you have sweepers who can readjust the line if needed or drag the rock further.
Good. Great sweep.
Good example right there.
Like control. Yep. Yep. Hard. Really gotta go. Hard. 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 Hard right to it. Hard. 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 Right.
And yet another great example of brushers really making the shot.
Yeah. And again, we were talking about the way some of these teams broom themselves. They broom themselves very tight and let the sweepers do the rest. I mean, it's a smart thing to do because this ice is so straight that the last thing you want to do is throw it wide, and then you have no help, no hope, no help, because the sweepers can't do anything.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than being a sweeper and the only thing you can do is pray.
Yeah.
Though you do actually see some of the sweeping out here. You'll see when they're trying to get the rock to curl, and they're throwing the rock with a weight that's about hack or less. They will try to influence the curl by sweeping with their downstroke towards the way they want it to curl.
He was heavy, and he didn't get by by much, so not like maybe there. All right, nice and quick. All right, let's go top four. I like top four here. Close. Yep. Close. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Gotta go. Yep. Hard. Got that. Right out. Right out. Yep. 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 Go. 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 Right out. Right out. Right out. Go. 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 Go.
He actually was quite heavy on that, Danielle, and it still really snapped. I think they thought the line was fine.
Yeah, once they get into the forefoot, it will grab that curl and slow down more. So the teams have to be conscious of which path they're throwing. You get out into the 8-foot, it'll run, especially on the side of the sheet that's closer to sheet 8. That side's slightly straighter than the other side. So you can't just slap a broom down for a draw and not think, like if you have an open draw as a skip, you've really got to pick your spot precisely because it makes a difference in speed.
So I think Matt here will try to draw around that top red rock.
Nothing left. Hey, line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Win only. Win only. Yep. Yes. Hold on. Yep. Hard. Okay, you can't then. You can't. You can't. Line's perfect. Line's perfect. Top four. Line's perfect. Right here. No. Sit down. Nice.
They'd want that rock to be, of course, buried perfectly on the top 4, but if not, the tolerance for that shot was more of top 8. So now this gives them a bit of an out here. It's not the easiest shot in the world, but it slipped behind the tee.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you get on my lap? good. Room. Wait only. Room. Oh. Clean. Whoa. Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, for sure. No. Yep. Hard, Jeff. Go.
A little wide, little heavy, and that results in a steal of 2 for Team Hall. To kick off scoring in the first end will be Team Willsey with the hammer going into end number 2. Taking a look at the women's semi-final game, it was a blank end to kick off the first, and we're about halfway, a little more than halfway through the second end, and it's like they've got more target practice going on.
Mm-hmm.
So expect another blank end short of a miss.
Get your hand on that speed. Quick. Yeah. Might be faster than yesterday. Yeah.
Well, that was a little disheartening for
Line's
John,
good. Top 4.
giving up a steal of 2 in the first end,
Line's good.
but it's
Right
only
only.
it's only the second end now, so there's still lots
Okay, there
of
it
time.
goes. Curling now.
That's when you're happy to have 10 ends.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying.
Well, that's something interesting to talk about, Mary. Once you get to play downs, you're playing 10 end games,
That's
but
good, baby.
these teams spend their entire season playing 8 end games. And I know you've coached a U18 team for a few years, and a competitor yourself. How do you deal with going from 8 ends to 10 ends? What kind of advice would you give a team?
Well, you know what I think that one of the problems is for these teams that play, even in the slams all year, they're all 8 end games, and then they go into playdowns.
Line's good.
I don't know. I don't think they're
Mine should be
used
good.
to the having to be so mentally strong for
Gotta move a bit.
another 2 ends of play out there. I think
That's
that
going now.
really wreaks havoc on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still
yeah,
prefer 10
Get on that
ends
logo. Yep.
personally for the big championships.
Yeah.
And
That's
maybe
true.
I'm talking more of a viewer. Like when I'm at home watching the Briar or the Scotties, I love to watch a 10 end game.
Ah,
I really do.
what about playing?
Well,
Personally.
you know what? Honestly, I
Line's good.
I don't ever
5.
play a 10 end game anymore because I play seniors
Maybe a
and
hand
that
tight.
is 8
No,
ends
line's
now.
good now. Line's good now.
But when I did play,
Line's good now. Wait only.
I liked the 10 ends.
Take a look.
Yeah.
It's hanging.
How
It's
about you?
hanging.
I'm actually on the other side of the equation. I'm a bigger fan of 8 ends. I guess I like getting
That's fine, Davey.
getting straight to the
Great
point with the
No
with the
worries,
8 ends. It's less time out on the ice, and if you're in a club like Annandale that's a little chilly,
Yeah.
it's of course also speaking I'm currently skipping, so I'm a little chilly out there when you're just standing there and only sweeping the occasional 6 feet. But I'm more of a
Mine's
fan of
good.
8 ends
Little
because I
tight.
find teams
Little
go for
tight.
it more. You don't have an end or two of
Close.
target practice, and
Yeah.
I mean, well,
Hey, well.
I don't think many of our competitors
yes.
are listening to us, but quite often we
Well,
just
line's
go
good.
for it. Makes for a more exciting game. You just
Yes.
start into
guys,
the
yes.
play, but
Hard.
um,
Gotta be top 8. Yeah.
I think,
Hard.
and I
Hard.
mentioned this on a previous
Hard,
broadcast, they're bringing in the
Hard.
5 rock free guards on the
Hard.
roll. Now, what's great about a 10 end game is that if you get down early, so if you drop, for example, 2 points in the first end, you still have 9 ends to go. That's
Yeah.
plenty of time to make a comeback. 8 ends is a little tighter, especially if you're playing against a really solid peeling team. But with the 5 rock free guards on the roll that will come in, I think that will even it out. So if you were to play 8 ends, you would still have plenty of chance to generate
Yeah.
offense. So
So
that's
it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I don't know.
it's true. It
Yeah.
seems it's personal preference,
Yeah.
but I mean the slam events. The reason why they're 8 is because TV it's more viewer
They're a little
friendly.
higher
So you
this
do
time.
have curling fans like yourself who enjoy watching as much curling as possible.
Yeah.
You have
Bit of
other
room.
people who
Bit of
find
room.
it to be long, so they
Ready to
go
go,
to
babe,
8
you
ends.
can.
True. And
Yep.
actually for the slams, I would not want it to be 10 ends. I think that would be too much to watch.
Yeah, line it up. Yep. Easy. Okay.
Well, the other reason, just to throw more reason on the fire for 8 end games, is especially if you have 3 game days. 3 10-end games, forget if you go into extras, are very long games. And we saw that the other day. We had an extra end on our feature sheet, and the players were on the ice until almost midnight.
Yeah.
After they started their first game at 10 in the morning. So you talk about the mental toughness, physical preparation.
You threw him well, Joe.
You know, another thing that's happening a lot now is all the injuries in curling. You know, the people with the bad backs, the bad knees. The longevity of the game is maybe at risk here, and perhaps putting it to 8 ends
A little more line.
alleviate that problem.
Tight two.
That's very true. Now all the teams
Starting
seem
to
to
go
be
now.
playing more, and no
Well,
matter what level you're at, whether you're at the U18, U21, or adult level,
Yep.
you need to play more and play harder in
Yep.
order to get a better result. The Olympics really truly changed everything, from the most elite teams right down to our younger teams who are just coming up into the competitive world.
We tried.
So now everything's on a 4-year cycle. Everyone has to train harder, play more.
Work less
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Work harder on getting sponsorships so you can work less.
Second one.
or marry rich.
Mary Rich.
Marry rich. Other priorities.
Nope.
But again, kudos to all the teams who have been here this week. We felt there was a very strong field for both the men and the women, and it showed all week in some of the parity and even the teams who were at
Worst case is that.
the bottom of the standings.
Yeah.
They had some big victories,
controlled,
and
right?
on the men's side there were no teams at Ophir, so anybody can beat anyone on any given day.
Yeah. So we had a miss out here by Team Hall. Miss Peel.
Oh. Yep.
Control.
They're going for the double and
Control.
hung out wide. We've seen that on some shots that have significant weight on them. As we mentioned before, these Roxburgh conditions, so their striking bands are very lively and active. But where they bounce the red to will work in their favor. But Team Hall, if they can keep this to Roxon and keep Team Willsey chasing, they'll be in a good position.
Clean. Hard, Joe, hard. Good. Again, I was a little bit positive because I slid tight and I had to. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. A little positive, but it is getting straighter.
I'm a little surprised at this call, Danielle. He's playing the hit and long roll. Down 2 points. He's got a corner guard up, and opponent's rock behind the corner, behind the T line.
Yeah. Guessing they're trying to bring in their little tiny biter at the front into play.
Okay.
But if you're going for two, definitely the easier shot seems to be the freeze or come around.
Pull it out if you can. Yep.
Yeah, see, kind of a wasted shot. Again, have to stick around if nothing else.
Yeah, they need to hit tolerance.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah, let's keep it open. Yeah.
I want to keep it open, but they have to be careful not to set up a double in a spot where Willsey can stick around.
Yeah, I think so. Just seeing the weight came down by the time.
High's okay here.
I should have just
called your
It's,
first term.
it is getting a bit
Make
straighter,
sure.
so this should only get up to about edge of 4.
Yeah. I thought the way you released it was going to stay on that line. Yeah.
Pardon? Line's good. Line's good. You can go. Line's good, boys. Wait only. Wait only. Wait only. Take a look.
All you, top 8. Looks fair to me. Doesn't need
Top
to go.
8, boys. Line's good.
Okay, whoa. Okay, just here, guys. Heads
Whoa,
up.
whoa, whoa.
Heads up.
Whoa.
Whoa. Top house. No, sit. No. Never. Oh.
Okay. Sorry. Don't worry.
And that's what they had to avoid because now there's a double available.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sweeper's error, I think.
I think so. They had the same weight normal?
Yeah. They just thought it was a hair tight on my hand, so they jumped it, and I think it just...
I think it should come up a bit. Yeah.
I definitely threw less than I did last time, so...
Back end,
Normal.
Matt Hall and Jeff Wanless were having a good conversation about what had happened with that last rock. All the players knew where it had to be, and it was just an oversweep. But what he was mentioning is they had jumped the rocker out of the hand, thought it was a little tight, and in doing so got it onto that straight path. So it never picked up the curl and didn't lose the weight like they expected.
Oh.
Pretty heavy.
Close. Yep. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Hard. Hard.
Just knows it, eh? There's no double. Just like control.
They got a shot like that, Danielle.
This won't move close
Them
to the
playing
line,
that
so...
shot with the intern instead of the
I
outturn.
think like that with just control.
I
even
would be
soft
playing
is
it with
okay.
the intern.
You would?
I
Yeah.
would. Well, because
So hairless.
if you're, I would personally be playing the double, and then
just
if you
control right
curled
on the
up
nose.
to get the hit and roll, that would be a plan B.
Right.
That's just me, but I mean, I think it also should have been them, considering they've been playing this end to bring that top rock into play, and
Right.
they needed to do it now
Yeah.
because, as you can see, you heard Matt say if they nose it there, that the double's not there for them to
Yeah.
stick around.
Then they'll be forcing Willsey to 1 point.
Yep. Yep. Whoa! 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 Yep! Hard! Hard! Whoa!
What a sweep by David.
David Hart got to work out on that one.
See him going over to the side bench and
He's going to have
taking
a
a
seat.
seat. And you deserve it, David.
Yeah.
A little shoulder roll.
Yeah, just that control. I've been
Good
saying.
thing he's young. So just an open hit for John. Expecting him to throw just nice takeout weight on this.
Oh. Oh.
Looks like it's coming in hot and just not getting the curl.
Yeah, Jeff. Yep.
And that will be a steal of 1 for the Hall team in N2, and they are now up 3-0
Great start, boys.
over Team Willsey. Team Willsey will have the hammer back again in end number 3.
Yeah, a little solid.
Update for you on the women's semifinal game.
That was more than I wanted.
They have blanked the first 2 ends, and we can see that they're playing the third end and currently have 3 rocks in place. So with one of those being a center guard. So might be some scoring coming, but of course we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, I still especially on hits, still airtight until we miss one.
Yeah, exactly. Bring how we can. We played forward a lot.
So throwing lead rocks for this team is mentioned David Hart.
Yeah, I agree.
Not only lead rock, but super sweeper.
Line's good. Top
If that last name is familiar to you, yes, David. And Joey's dad is Richard Hart,
Wait only, line's good.
who played third for Team Glenn Howard for many years.
Yep. Come on, go.
David is in his first year apprenticeship to be an electrician, so following in his father's footsteps.
His dad recently had to step away from the game, Rich Hart, due to some, just what we were talking about earlier, knee issues. I think Rich has two bad knees now, and I don't think we're going to see him back on the ice.
Which is so unfortunate because if it weren't for the injuries, he would still be playing and still be at the top of the game.
Absolutely.
But years of repeated stress on the body will get to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in, 4 is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't mind how I threw it, just too much weight. I'm not really.
3.
Yeah.
Easy.
Picking a hair hard.
3. Easy line.
Yep.
Okay, bring it in, top 12.
Yep.
Yeah,
Try and make you guys
bring it in.
work.
We're top 12. No, I think it's leaving high. It's okay. That's okay, Davey. Good throws.
I think I like a high one.
I thought it was less.
Throwing lead for the WILLSEY team is Brendan Acorn. Brendan lives up in Sault Ste. Marie. That's his hometown. The 2014 Northern Ontario Bantam champion. Skipped by himself.
Okay, yeah then. Line's pretty good. Bit of room, actually. Room, wait only.
He's going to Carleton
That'd be a little
University, studying civil engineering.
Feeling back 4. Line's real good. That'll finish. Yep.
I have to just say, I'm liking how the
Hard.
WILLSEY team was playing this one, even though they came around guard. That actually worked out quite well. They were calling a second guard on the same side of the ice. So their first guard slipped really close to the ring. So instead of throwing on the other side and probably leaving it some sort of a double peel, they were going to put it on the other side. So very smart move. Throwing second stones for the Hall team is Joseph Hart, affectionately called Joey. And he's a two-time provincial champion.
That's good, Josh.
And he's very camera shy.
Aww.
It looked great most of the way down.
Well, he better get used to the camera because he's probably going to have a good career in this game.
Twice already this week.
Yeah.
Bit of room. Lots of room.
3 times.
Lots of room right now.
And another interesting fact there is that he actually played a game at the Briar. That was back when it was in Ottawa.
That's right.
And he was he was the fifth for Team Howard at that point. So he got to play with his dad.
Yeah, that was neat.
So actually, it was both of the boys out on the ice. It was Scott Howard and Glenn and Joey and Rich.
Easy. Close. Whoa. Nope. No. Yep, right out. Good.
The second for the WILLSEY team
like
is another well-known curling name, Connor Laws. Connor's got lots of family members that have done well in this sport. His aunt, Andrea Laws, won the 1990 Scotties with Allison Goring.
Bit of room.
And then won about 3 or 4 more provincials with Sherry Madaw.
Yep. Yes.
And then
Finish.
also has an aunt called Caitlin Laws.
Hard.
And I don't think I have to tell you what she's done.
Hard. Gotta go hard. Hard.
And his grandfather also played in the Briar.
Hey.
Keith Laws.
I like hitting it, I think.
And now we have Connor Laws.
Yeah, I got 2/3.
Big shoes to fill. For
Yes, he does.
But it's really been, well, you can see they've had a great week so far.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I think that's still good. 'Cause we only have to hit a keeper.
Throwing third rocks for Team Hall is Jeff Wanless. And he, of course, is part of that team representing Ontario last year. And his hobbies are curling. Just curling.
Steve!
Eat, sleep, breathe, live curling.
Hard! Touch it. Sit down. Real good, Jeff.
Great shot to stick around the rings.
When I let it go, we were on a piece, and I just didn't want to lose it. Just a hair. Yeah. Good too, sorry. You held it. It actually didn't, but like when I let it go, I was already hitting like a bit of a rock, and I knew it wasn't going to back up, so I was like, just pound it and get it. No need to break.
Felt pretty close. Bit of room. Gave it a little bit. Close. Whoa then, whoa.
This is Jordy Lyon Hatcher, the third for the WILLSEY rink.
Okay, well then, Connor, if anything.
Trying to make the perfect
Actually pretty good,
freeze.
Oh.
It's looking pretty
Oh, no,
good.
No. Sit down.
Very nice shot.
Shot, Jordy.
You can do this, and it goes out. Okay. Yeah, nose is fine. I like that. Control.
Meant to ask him about this last time we showed him, Danielle, because he has 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a turkey.
I love it.
I want to know about the turkey.
Maybe we can catch. Maybe if one of the parents is listening in, they might be able to give us some insight onto what the turkey is at the 5th end break.
Joey. This will be okay. It's okay, Jeff. Is that good weight? Okay, I was just a little.
I like how they kept the weight down on that shot, and in doing so, they kept their shooter around it. They squared that rock out into the open, so even the WILLSEY team now has a chance to put in 2. Biggest thing is they don't want to leave a double anywhere.
I can't tell.
They want to get it preferably buried if they can somewhere.
We can't hit this and be second. So we either got to do this or come in here. Be tight. You can probably, yeah.
No worries. I like
Just can't, yeah. Yep. I kind of like this.
I love this. You make that.
I like a good board out here. Yeah. Solid board.
What I found interesting, and we saw in our last game, is that Connor's always the one to go down and chat.
I was just going to mention the same thing, Danielle. He seems to be, Jordy just seems to let Connor be the spokesperson to go down and talk to the skip.
Yeah.
Oh. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Off. Okay.
Yeah. Control.
They had nice controlled weight on it, but it just didn't have any finish in that spot. Perhaps a straighter throw too, and that would keep it out there.
Control, right on the nose,
Yeah.
you sit too.
Again,
Good throw.
we've
I'd
just seen that it's
spot
just
out there
so
might come
hard
up
to
a bit
get
more.
rolls outside in on
exactly,
these
but- Because your weight was
on the
Yeah,
hits.
no, we don't need to. Nose is perfect.
Yeah.
You don't want to, when you're playing to the wing, you don't want to bring your weight down too much, you know. It gets tricky.
And it's very release sensitive as
Yeah.
well.
Nose
If
is
you put it out, well, it's going to run
Flop
straight.
under
If
his
you,
thread, and
but
play
if
the
also
short
if you
run
dump
back,
it, you're
should have a double
it's
for
going to
the
curl. So even though there are straighter spots on the ice, it's still going to react greatly to your release. And in games such as this, when you really want to make the shots and at least make sure if you're playing a hit that you hit the rock, you tend to get that half in between Z shot.
Sorry, boys. That's good. That's good.
So they'd really want to nose that rock because now there's this double and roll available.
That's good. That's a good result. Sorry,
Yeah.
it looked like you were on that.
Like board with the out turn or like control?
You're right. Good call.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Control there. Yeah, just off it, I think. Yeah. Control.
So I like this, Mary. They're playing a nice controlled
Gotta get
weight
some action off it.
at it.
For the roll first.
This is John Willsey, the skip of this team. He's got lots of experience. 2012 Bantam mixed champ, 3-time junior mixed runner-up.
Close. Yep. Hard. Yes. Yes. Whoa. Yes, yes, yes. Sit down. Sit.
Great shot.
That is a great shot. That was not an easy shot, Danielle, and not an easy one to call the sweep on it.
Yep. They're still thinking they might be able to get both as long as they hit.
Yeah, right there, eh? Throw it where you want to, ice where you want to hit it, I think.
Yeah.
Hit this one like pretty thin.
Yeah.
The problem was for Willsey to make that shot, he had to roll over where his other rock is, which is unfortunate because it does set up a double.
I think if they had hit a little more of that rock, they would have rolled just that rock or half a rock less, and the shot wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
But
Instead of fraction.
I like how this
from what we've seen, you really don't want to leave Matt Hall any sort of a hit.
literally they were jamming yesterday and spinning.
So speaking of Matt, he the skip of the team. Was in addition to his recent accomplishments, he's also been the 2015 Canada Winter Games silver medalist. His hobbies are tutoring, curling, and sharing memes with Charlie Richard. Great shot.
Put that in, yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of
yeah.
excitement there from the Hall team.
Yep.
Beautiful. And let's watch a replay of this. See, made contact with the front one, made contact with the second one, avoided the jams.
20.
Here's another angle, another look at it. Had to throw a lot of weight on there to get that second one to pop through the back. And that has really pumped up Matt.
I don't blame you. I'd be pretty excited if I made that shot too.
I know.
Speaking of pumped up, we could see how the intensity has just been turned up with every game. Semifinal, final.
Sweepers are not liking this too much. This needs to curl to at least get onto that back red.
Yep.
Phew.
And it stops in time. And
Yes.
the Willsey team is on the board with a single point and N3. It is the Hall team with a 3-1 lead over the Willsey team. And Team Hall will have the hammer in N4.
All right, let's get it set up here.
So Danielle, did I tell you the Willsey team gave us a little gift?
Oh, did they?
Get it
They
set up.
did, yes. They gave us a picture of the team,
Oh.
as you can see here, and they gave us a package of pistachios.
Oh.
And do you know why?
Because they wanted us to say nice things about them on air?
No, because the last time I read what John's interests are, and he says he enjoys pistachios. And there's a story behind that. Yeah.
So we have a little snack between
Little
the
tight.
games. Well, thank you very much, Team
Tight.
Willsey. That was very
That
thoughtful.
was,
Over curling.
that was thoughtful.
Easy.
All right, so one-sided
you.
commentating
You're
it is.
Team Hall did not give us anything.
Oh. Except the pleasure of getting to watch them play this morning as
Exactly.
well. But what is something else that's also interesting about these two teams out here is there are several players from Wilfrid Laurier University out here. They have, I believe, if I'm counting right, there are four. So three on the Willsey team: Connor Laws, Jordy, Leon Hatcher,
So if they make a good double
and
deal, he's got
Zach
a force.
Cohen, who's
We can
their
still play the
alternate,
force.
and Matt Hall also
force too.
plays for Laurier, as well. Matt Wilkinson, coach of Team Willsey, is the head coach there. So these players are very familiar with each other.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good spot there, baby.
Like tight.
And I was also noticing this Willsey team, they live in all different parts of the province. You've got one from Ottawa, one from Dunchurch, which I'm not sure where that is, one from Sault Ste. Marie, and one from Aurelia.
Well, you're seeing teams.
A lot more line.
It used to be that you form a
Very
team
open.
at your
Gotta
club,
finish
and
it.
now it seems like
Really gotta finish it.
to get the top team or all the
Circle
teammates you
mile.
want, you're drawing from everywhere in the
Yeah.
province.
Yeah.
And then at
tight.
the
Yes, yes,
at
yes.
the adult level,
Hard.
you're drawing
Hard,
from
guys, hard.
anywhere in the country because
Hard.
there's the residency rule that you can have one out of province player.
Yeah, I guess there's pros and cons to it, Danielle. They're certainly not going to have too many team practices together, living so far apart. But a lot of teams, even the big teams, elite teams, they make it work.
It's becoming increasingly common. So especially there's going to be some players aging out this year who are on the ice right now. Some players who are going to be aging out very shortly. And they're going to have to get used to it, really, and find a way to make it work.
So Dunchurch is a little bit south, north of Parry Sound, south of Sudbury. Kind of in between there, so that's a fair distance away from where we are right now.
Line's good. Bit of room. Wait only. Oh, close. Clean up. Yes. Hard. Hard. Hard line. Hard. 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 Wait only. Wait only. Yep. 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 Yep.
Great sweep.
Great sweep, guys.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
So they really, really wanted the double peel on that one, or if not the double, at least the single.
Still beside it.
It can be so hard, Mary, at these games. You want to make the perfect shot, but you also need to take into consideration the second best. So there's been a technical timeout called on the sheet, and it's looking like they're banging the hack, so it might have become loose. So teams do have 2 timeouts that they used called to bring their coach into play, but there's also a type of timeout called a technical timeout that it's in case of injury or issue with the rock, or in this case,
malfunction of some sort, yeah.
So teams aren't penalized for this time. So these hacks are the removable kind. So as you can see, they've picked it up and flipped it over here. But sometimes with that, they have posts on the end of the bottom of the hacks that stick into holes in the ice. And when they get jiggled so often, or especially if a rock hits the hack, it can really damage that hole that the hacks are in. And over time, if that wears down so much, the hack will become loose or even come out.
Well, I hope this is a quick fix, Danielle.
So too, because the timing of this isn't great.
Yeah.
But it's something that's happened before. We saw it on sheet 8. Actually, was it with the Hull team? I forget who it was.
I know there was another one. Yeah.
Yeah. They it often happens. I hate to say it, but with the men's team, they push out
and it
very
was
hard.
It was actually the Hull team. Remember, it was David that kicked out of the hack.
Right.
And the hack came out with him, followed him down the ice. Yeah. So these guys are going to have to wait, and the ice tech is going to have to come out and repair the hack.
And again, this is just a technical timeout.
Yes.
So neither team is penalized. So for the WILLSEY team, you never like to have a break, but I would say in terms of momentum, it's not necessarily a bad thing that the WILLSEY team is getting a second to breathe.
Yeah, I think for the WILLSEY team, it's an okay thing. For the Hull team, I'm not so sure, because they were on quite a roll. This is going to slow things down a bit.
Well, the WILLSEY's team is getting set up nicely in this end. Again, they don't have hammer. They've got that rock almost frozen to the Hull rock on the top button, and 2 guards.
We've got a very close game going on sheet 6 with the women's semifinal. Is that a tie score there?
It is
1-1.
And the winner of that game goes on to play Team Murphy for the final, decide who will represent Ontario at the U21 National Championship. If you're wanting to keep up to date with, of course, we're giving you updates every end on that game, but if you're wanting to watch the line score, you can always catch it on Curl-On's website, which is ontcurl.com/scoreboard. And these, both teams seem to be taking this pretty well. As you can tell, they're all friends. They see, not only do they play with each other at university, some of them, but they see each other every weekend on the circuit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking here. We also have a bio for 5th player of the WILLSEY team. I'm not sure if he's here now. Oh, he is, yeah. He's sitting behind the glass here. His name is Zachary Cohen. He's from Thornhill. He's a 2016-2017 U18 provincials with Team Fias. And that Team Fias played here this week.
Icing our own team? Yeah.
His interesting fact that he'd like to share, Phil Kessel is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
Well, he did list his hobbies as curling and hockey. Wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
So all of the teams, there wasn't a player pool provided, so it was up to the teams this week to bring a fifth if they wanted, if they so chose. So the WILLSEY team has brought Zach along.
Line's good. Little tight. Top button. Line's real good. Line's good. All
And
you.
actually,
Room,
Zach
room,
even
room,
played a
room,
bigger role
room,
with this team
room,
this season.
room.
Brendan
Whoa,
Acorn
whoa,
got
line.
injured and ended up
Yep.
playing.
Hard,
So Zach
hard.
ended up
Top
stepping
button,
in
yes.
for him
Hard,
during the play
hard,
downs to get
hard,
here.
Hard. Oh yeah, that plays. Yep.
So we're glad to see all of these hacks repaired.
Yeah, that did not take long once Nathan Sutton, the ice tech, got down there.
Well, ice freezes pretty quickly out there.
Yes.
So
So it's just a matter of putting water in the two holes, right?
yeah,
Just
and
to-
reinforce them. Yeah.
Roll it. Real good, Bill.
A great double peel and roll to a corner as well.
Let me guard this.
The air temperature out there, at least it was last night, and I suspect it's similar now, is about -5.
Yikes.
And that's the air. Yeah, that's there isn't any insulation at the Annandale Golf and Curling Club, so it's very weather dependent what the temperature is in the building. They don't have a heater in here to regulate the temperature that way, and now with only 2 sheets of body heat out here, it's it might even be colder than that.
Hey, line's good. Line's good. Easy. Line's fine. Line's fine. Doesn't need it. Just wait only.
Clean, whoa. Clean. Yep. Good.
And a single peel from Jeff Wanless. The Team WILLSEY is just going to keep putting that guard back up, and they want to keep it fairly high so that the Hall team can't run it into the house.
Like that ice?
And they're wanting to guard their one up top because right now the rock is almost frozen on the red one, and there's not much the Hall team can do about that without losing their back rock.
A lot more line. Hey, yeah, really hard. Hey, whoa. You're on the right one. Yeah, a little bit. Yep. Yes. Hey, Jordy.
I ever get all of it moving? Blake, I think if you hit it a hair on this side, feel. Yeah, nose. Nose or a hair on this side. I want to take a look. Yeah, we got time.
That's right. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time to start off, and both teams are at 27.
I don't think. Just a sliver, yeah. Try and touch. Yeah. I honestly, yeah, I think anything 3/4 or closer to nose and you're good. You're going thin, you're going to lose yours. This way we can save ours. Well, I like leaving ours right there, Joe. I like this better than thin, I think. Out, right? No, out turn. No, I'm asking out turn. Yeah.
Even though there's only two sheets of ice out there, it's a big building and it eats up the sound pretty quick. So a little miscommunication for a moment, but it's corrected.
Yep! Yes! You really got that.
Hard! Right to it, go. Hard on that.
Gee, not a bad shot.
Okay.
Not bad at all. With the amount of weight they could throw, how active the rocks are, they were certainly going to be cleaning things up no matter what.
Yeah, because he actually threw that
Harder.
tight. He didn't really hit it where they wanted to.
Just let it hair flow and then kind of.
Like, he can still get 2 if he makes that roll if we just nose this, so.
Just trust it.
I think I like the guard. I like the guard, yeah. There.
Yeah.
What are we looking for, like?
I think deeper. A little deeper. And just try to guard it flush.
He's going to throw the guard here. Wants to be pretty precise here. Line is extremely important.
Looks like a lot.
They'll also have to be careful weight-wise. Line first, but weight-wise too. If they're too tight, it will make an easier run back. If they're too high,
tight, so I think it
potentially leave the door open for the whole team to come around and hit it or tap it.
Exactly, and sit 2.
It's really going. It's really over curling.
Where?
Whoa. Whoa, off. Sit down.
Hawk.
And you can see that there's a solid half of the rock exposed. So, and this is a spot too, Mary, that we've seen curl by the center line,
Yes.
over center. So they should be able to get a big chunk
When
of
I
this
added
if
it,
they
it just
throw
started
approximately at the broom with just some nice hack weight.
Yeah, those guards, that's so frustrating when you throw a guard like that. It just over curls slightly, probably due to, a couple of feet short. Wanted it maybe a little tighter, would have held the line better.
Close. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Joey. Hold Joe. Get it out.
On the red.
Go. Move it out. That's good, Matt. Good shot.
So at first they were calling that line and holding it, and hold it they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just something.
Now, yellow is still shot, I
I'll make
believe.
them add to it.
They are.
That should be fine.
So great chance for the WILLSEY team if they can sink one right here in about the top 8, top 4 area. They'll be forcing the whole team to a single.
room. Oh.
You know, the weight wasn't bad, Danielle. It just took so long to come over that center line. No double there, I don't think.
I'm good. I thought
Yeah, well, even they would, even if there was, there's those red catchers over there.
Sorry, what were you saying, Danielle?
Well, I was just saying that even if there was a double available, there are those red catchers that the rock would be going into.
Yeah.
So that's why Jeff was quite emphatic about just the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just 2 feet, eh? You can go. Whoa, 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 whoa! Yep, whoa, whoa, yep! Clean it, off! Good.
And in all that excitement, it is a single for Team Hall, so they now lead 4-1 after end 4. It will be Team Willsey with the hammer going into end number 5.
Yep.
Nothing like good line call one way by the person in the house and another by the person who threw the rock.
I know, and the poor sweeper didn't know what to do. Again, David Hart.
An update for you on the women's semifinal game. They are playing the fifth end, and they have every rock in play so far except for one. It's a tie game.
Yep. Let's go.
This is the second time out in the same end. Lots of rocks in play.
Well, they're making up with rocks in play for the lack of them for the first two ends.
Keep going, go. Okay, not bad, Davey. No worries. Hey, Davey.
Just to let our viewers know as well, we will be streaming the next event that's coming up, which is the Ontario Women's Curling Championship.
Line's good.
The Scotties Tournament of Hearts, Ontario's. That's going to be held on January 10th to the 14th at the Whitby Curling Club. You can watch all the games right here. My co-host is a competitor. She's one of the 12 teams, Danielle Inglis, that's going to be competing in that. So I'm going to have to get a new co-host, Danielle, for that event.
I'll be chatting at you from the other side of the glass. Looking forward to it. The Whitby Curling Club is already, we can see the social media and the efforts so far, and they're really excited to host it, and I can't wait to get there.
Yeah, they're really putting a lot into this. Whitby is known to be a very hospitable curling club, and they're going all out on this. They're even going to have similar to like a Pinty's Lounge that you see at the Grand Slams. They're going to have that on sheet 1 at the Whitby Curling Club. Brock Street Brewery is sponsoring that.
Fifth end break on sheet 1.
It might be kind of difficult to curl when you're watching people drink nice cold beer.
I think more of the challenge is for them to be drinking cold beer while sitting on cold ice.
Yeah.
So, but we have heard many people who are very excited for that aspect of it, and it's always fun for spectators when they can be out on the ice and really hear and engage with the players. I mean, that's what's great about these broadcasts on Title Sports Live, that you can hear the players and hear what they're thinking. So it's, if you can't make it out to Whitby, we would love for you to join us by watching the broadcasts.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Yep, yep. Yep. Clean, clean. Good.
Mine's good. It's a 2. Bit of room. Have a look. Have a look. Have a look. Have a look. Easy, guys.
So Team WILLSEY is going to try to use every rock and play to their advantage, even if they end up being in the house. And unfortunately, this is slipping a little deeper. And as you can see, it leaves the Hall team with a double.
Whoa. No. Touch it, touch it. Yep, yep, get that one out, baby. Out, out, out. Yep, 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 yep. It's good, Joe.
Beauty. I like this call by the WILLSEY team to throw the corner up on this side. That will make it more difficult for the Hall team to peel. There's those couple rocks there to jam on.
Right on the O. Bit of room.
Yeah, the WILLSEY team has
Right
the
here.
hammer in this end. All they
Mine's
need
not
to
bad.
do is
Bit of room,
score
right
a
as
couple
rock.
of points, and they are right
Mine's
back in
good.
this game.
Yep. Right here. Come on, guys. Yep. Right here. Hard. Come on. Hard.
Great line, but they want that rock deeper so that it was going to be tough either way for the Hall team to peel.
Whoa, whoa, no. Dave, Dave, Dave. Good.
Then in striking bands, it doesn't take much to send the rocks out.
Even I can peel on this ice, Danielle.
I have no doubt. Never doubt.
Listen, you and I and Barb, we're all going to have to go into Bonspiel sometime. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, since Whitby's so hospitable, what about one there?
And we happen to live in the area.
The rock slips a little deeper than they had wanted it to. Makes for an easier peel.
Yeah, Matt wouldn't mind. He could actually maybe even bump out their top red one that's sitting there. Because eventually WILLSEY's going to use that one to come around.
Yeah, because it's in the top 12. It's actually, like you said, it's more like a guard.
It's more like a guard, yeah.
Whoa! Yep! Yep! Hard! Whoa, 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 whoa! Roll the shooter, roll the shooter. That's a beauty, Jeff. Great throw.
That
Punched it back a bit.
and that's perfect. They kept it above the tee line too. What a shot!
Draw.
Oh, for the Willsey team, they do have that hall rock that's acting as a corner, a far out corner, but it's still something that they can come around, or in this case, hit and roll behind.
Clean, yep. Yep. Oh. Clean, yep. Yep. Oh, 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 clean. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's so easy to overcook the line with sweeping,
Half the 8.
and you're trying to make it so
Yeah,
perfect.
inch more.
Yeah. He could have, frozen to that rock, tapped it back a bit, but I think at this point he's thinking maybe we just play it out and hopefully be able to blank this end. Move on to the next one.
Having the hammer in an even end is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
I guess it was cool. Speed's still the same. Line's good. You can go. Line's good. Line's good, boys. Line's great, boys. It's hanging. You got it. You got it. Line's good. I like deep stories. Oh, no.
Just where they wanted it. So Willsey team looking for a roll towards the outside of the ring. So in doing so, that'll make their, assuming Matt makes the nose hit, it will make their roll out a little easier. They won't have to roll as far.
Got a really good crowd here, actually, Danielle, today. I know it's been very crowded all week with all the teams playing.
But what I've also found impressive is that there have been many members of the Annandale Club that have been out who had no affiliation with any of the
Yes.
teams. So
Yeah.
they're just out to watch some good curling. So love to see that kind of support.
Yes.
Just control. Easy, easy. Great sweep.
Both teams doing great on the time clocks. Again, it's been 38 minutes of thinking time that each team has been allocated, and have both teams above the 21-minute mark. So one of the teams that we have Team Willsey at 22 and change, and Team Hall at 21 and change. So it's well above where they need to be at this point.
Yep, yep, yep. Yep.
Good sweep indeed, and that is a blank end by Team Willsey. So Team Willsey will have the hammer coming back home into the sixth end. It is Team Hall with a 4-1 lead after 5 ends of play.
And we are now on to the 5th end break for the players. And TSL here is going to take a quick 5 minutes as well, and we will be back in the 6th end.
Good defense. Lead pass. Stop it! Position about 8 yards from goal. Thoroughly unforgettable performance. 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 Thoroughly unforgettable performance.
Going to continue to stay straight, maybe even more. We might see a little bit of that fall, especially on that side of the sheet. Means I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm gonna actually wait. I'm actually gonna wait till he clicks out of the hat and then put the beam down again. Yeah, you hit the stick.
minute 30. Great. Spend at least another minute with them.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Puddin'. Puddin'. Okay.
Oh, we need a picture of the three of us with our...
We were all talking about you guys.
We need a picture of the three of us. Oh, like this. Smile, guys.
Hang on, I don't feel very good today.
The lights are flashed. Right on the sheet beside them.
Real good.
And it's Team Little versus Team Wallingford. They had 2 blanks to start off their game. Each took a single point in the next 2 ends, and it's Team Wallingford with a deuce in the 5th end, and we saw almost every rock in play that end.
Yeah, that was highly unusual, especially for a girls' game. I would have liked to see how that all came to be. Oh, and here's a hogged rock. Very hogged rock, actually.
4.
Not even close to the hog line.
Line's great. Wait only. Wait only. Line's great. Where? Whoa. I'd like it to curl.
Okay, let's walk it on.
It's on the nose. It's on the nose. Wait only. Wait only. Wait only. Wait only. Great pair, David.
Good line on that rock.
Oh.
And David had struggled during the semifinal game with finding his weight through the first couple ends and picked it up during the second half of the game, and we can see that he's now got it back.
Hey, line's good. 2-3. Line's good. Starting to go pretty good. Yeah, it's overgoing a bit. Yeah, stay down. Yeah. Hard, guys.
Good swoop to drag that over the hog line. The unfortunate part about that hog right at the beginning is now the WILLSEY team couldn't take advantage of the free guard zone, and they're going to have to hope for a miss from the Hall team.
I think we might have one right here.
Come on. Come on.
Danielle.
Okay.
No, he got a piece of it.
So we'll expect the WILLSEY team to throw
Scared me a little bit.
a few more guards, and then they'll start manipulating the rocks in the house if they're continue to be peeled.
Line's good. Make sure. 2-3. Line's good. Have a look. Have a look. Have a look. Have a look. They'll finish. Nice.
Whoa. Come on. Okay.
just
Should go a bit.
John's just going to move to the other side of the sheet and try to put a guard on that side. It's kind of hard in this situation.
Oh, yeah,
as
bit
the
of
whole
room.
team are not going to miss too many peels.
Yeah, go, yeah.
Oh, you just want to try
Hard,
to put
guys.
it in a spot where you
Hard.
hope that they're going
Hard, come on,
to
Jordy,
miss
yep.
it.
Yep. Hard. Hard, you got it. Come on. Come on, push, Jordy, come on.
Gee, I don't know. That's 2 hogged rocks and 1 that was almost hogged.
I like just ripping the house, Matt.
There's either a change in the ice happening or
I don't want to give him block.
just the players maybe are reading the ice
you like
right.
this?
But we'll try to get some times on these and see what's going on.
Okay, so we have a timeout called.
I don't
Team
really
Hall.
care. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page of what
Team
we want
Hall's
to do here.
coach Ray Bushfield will be heading on the ice surface.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like the wing. If we're going to do it, we cap it.
Yeah.
But
Is anything going to
that
hurt
rock-
us here?
That rock's higher than I thought. Okay, no, that rock's higher.
Yeah.
I thought it was here.
Okay, yeah,
down there,
no.
So I was
no.
like, okay, I don't like that. Well, this is.
If we do
is
this,
better.
his only shot is to either triple and go for the blank or make this, which, I mean, that.
But I mean, if we peel it now, guaranteed blank.
Okay, let's talk to
No
Ray.
juice.
Hey, let's talk to Ray.
We had the same situation this morning. Let's not let it. Okay, let's just not let it burn us. All right.
What's going on for their rocks? That's what we're saying.
We think they're throwing them away.
I think they're just throwing them light.
Because 8. Okay. I was thinking ripping.
I wasn't
guys
sure
were
what they were
thinking
saying.
the guard.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't like the guard.
Gotta be quick though.
Play the draw. Right. And then tap it.
Okay.
No draw.
2.
I like top 12. I like trying to throw something in the house. We got a good chance at a 4s. Might as well cap it.
Yes. Same situation this morning against Long. Rip it, blank for sure, waste a minute.
I love going like that. I don't think top 12, top 8 is going to hurt us at all.
Do you think it is? No.
If I give you my choice,
Yeah.
I like that one, but I still like the 8.
I like.
That's okay.
Let's do it. You like that, Jeff?
Okay. You
But
don't.
it can't be light.
You don't like me?
Yeah, I like you too.
Okay.
But it can't be light.
Okay. No, I know. Like I'd rather be in the rings than a tight.
Let's call it good. Like if
Tight,
it's heavy,
but top 12 is the audible. 2 is not the audible. Yeah. Okay. I like this way for weights.
Absolutely.
Matt, this side. Yeah.
Hey, boys. You're good, Jeff. You're good.
Okay.
If it's heavy out of his hand, we might just pound it and go right by. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the call here? Tight or 12?
So, good discussion between all the team members. There, as you could tell, there was some dissension of what the shot they should play. Decided on a really tight guard. In is okay. Matt's quite convinced that it's not going to hurt them 1 iota if it's got good line. So I heard Matt just talk to the sweepers and let them know, make a quick decision out of the hand so they can figure out what to do with it.
Four. Line's good. Line's great. Wait only. You're on the nose right now. You're going to be on the nose. Yep. That's good, Jeffrey.
Tap this on the nose. Not even. Back 8.
Third rock in
Moving this
play.
out
Now
here.
this gives. See, John's calling to play the tap back here.
12.
He's calling back 12, but they really don't need that weight. They just want to bump that red to right beside the other red at the back 4. And as we've seen, there's almost no loss of weight in the transfer when a rock is hit. So he really only needs about back 4 on
Little
this.
tight. Yep.
Back 4, maybe back 8.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think the top red rock is going to go very far, Danielle.
Clean.
Even
Yep.
if he could
Yep.
tap the back one and sit in front of the red one. Not a bad shot. Just like that.
Right, just like that.
Yeah.
So that's more the weight that they were looking for, and that was
Yeah.
more of that back 8 weight. Because like you said, that top red was never going anywhere. It was more of a concern of where you're leaving the other rocks at the back to use them later.
Exactly.
Peel.
So that was a great shot. Matt's just going to peel this out. He's going to want to take both rocks out. However, that will leave WILLSEY with a couple of chances to freeze on the back. Opponent rocks.
Whoa. Yep. That's okay, Jeff.
Yeah, just a little out on that one again, Danielle, and it's unforgiving.
Very. The so now WILLSEY team, if they can corner freeze one on that, on the red one, or almost pretty much come to the face of it, that would be perfect. But they do not want to move it, even if they're a little light. The
I just like
rock higher, that's fine
Line's
too.
good. Bit of room.
for sure.
All you, room. Room. Clean. Yep, line's good. Line's real good, yep. Line's good. All you. Room. Right here. Line's good. Yep. Right on it. Whoa. No bump. Yep. Good shot, Jordan.
Yeah.
Make sure the one, but then if we get it to
Pretty much perfect.
Right here.
Yeah.
Intern.
Yeah, I think we can drag it out.
Yep.
I'll give you a hair low. I think we can pull it out.
So we're going to see
More
a bit of
depth.
weight on this one.
Yeah, right there.
It's going to move a few pounds of granite here.
So expect to see that yellow. They're trying to hit it back on the yellow. Of course, that means you'll lose the red it's frozen on. You can see Jeff sweeping there. They're hoping that yellow will go on to the other red as well, send that out, and potentially even go back. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Whoa!
Close.
No!
Close.
Yes!
Hard.
Very well deserved fist pump from Matt Hall. Great shot. They got the angle perfect, and we'll watch the replay of it. They
Yeah, I knew you had to hit it thin to get it into the other
upped
one.
it, and they hit it just thin enough, and they managed to avoid the jam on their back red rock.
Yeah. As soon as I knew we
I
had
left
that,
them saying
like,
one on the back
contact on the
forefoot.
yellow
Matt
one,
came to
I
play
just
today,
figured
didn't he?
He did.
That makes some really good shots.
Yeah. I think they had something to prove
I think that
after
was just
their
my
loss
release.
against WILLSEY in
just released it good
the
and
round robin.
They just didn't have a good game in the round robin against the WILLSEY team.
Line's good. No, don't switch. Don't switch.
Yeah. There it goes. Just pick it. Let's not risk anything, eh? Nope. Intern? Yeah, intern. I mean, if we ever do stick around, that's nice, but yeah, no. Just throw peel.
So the front end was starting to walk down the ice and ask questions. I think they might have been looking at a guard or just playing a hidden role, but you heard skipper say it's not worth it.
No.
So that's a comment that's directed at a scoreboard shot.
Exactly.
They're up 3 right now. What they can't do at this point is give up 2. That's going to, you said at the beginning of this end, Mary, 2 brings the WILLSEY team right back into it. So Want to make sure that they're getting rid of this yellow.
Clean.
Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Beauty.
Yeah, Matt originally called, I don't care if I roll out on this shot. It's not get too cute, just make it go away. But this, making the roll and sitting two is a great situation. It's now going to force WILLSEY to have to take 1 point.
Yeah. Good rotation, but nothing out.
Yeah, easy control.
It's those kind of shots that when you make them, it really shows the confidence, and it kind of deflates the other team
It
too.
certainly does, yeah.
Yep. 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 Oh, clean. Whoa, 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 whoa. Off, off. Off.
Nice controlled weight there by John.
Single point for the WILLSEY team. This is Team Hall leading 4-2 after 6 ends of play, and Team Hall with the hammer going into end number 7.
Need some water. It's freezing out here. Maybe.
And we'll see a replay of Matt Hall's
First shot, yeah, in the, well, we were going to show you a replay.
So remember, it was really Matt's first shot where he made that thin double, left the rock sitting shot, and then Matt with his second one, John WILLSEY came up short, and he was able to play the hit and roll.
Yeah. Trust the ice, eh?
A little tight. Over curling. Oh, 3 or 1.
I think it should be
Really going now.
His looks like it's running. I think on these paths for sure, yeah. Based on how his
So on the women's sheet, an update for you.
5-6.
You might have heard some applause in the background about half an end ago, and it was Team Little with a big shot to get 2 points. So they have tied it up against Team Wallingford, and it's 3-all. And Team Wallingford with the hammer in the 7th.
Room! Wait only, take a look.
real close. Okay, real close. Top 4. Top 4. Don't watch
Jeff, when you can. Whoa. No, that's good. It's a good spot, Davey.
Tight.
That's good.
So I imagine, Mary, that we're going to see the WILLSEY team going for some steals, so some good offense happening.
Yeah, I think they're at the point now. We're running out of time here, so they're going to have to start taking a few more
Line's
chances.
good. Bit of room. Room now. Room. Switch. Tight. Line's real good. Yep. Yep. Stop.
4 or 5.
Think similar weight? Similar, no more.
Room!
I thought that's more, really? Okay,
Easy!
lights go, babe. Gotta go.
Line's good! Line's good!
You gotta go.
Wait only, line's good! Wait only, line's good! Straight! Yes! Hard! Hard, get it here, boys. Get it there. Go. Yep.
That's a good spot. Great pair, Davey. Good fruit.
And they dragged it in. At the beginning, they were hesitant to touch the rock. They thought that there had been some outward motion, but the sweepers recognizing that this rock had to be in the house, just knew that they had to go head down, communicate that, and really got what they needed out of the shot. But the WILLSEY team's not set up too badly here with 2 guards. They're going for the steal. That spot again, Mary. I've seen it so many times. If you have any weight that's behind the tee line, it's going to run.
Yes.
So it's not, yeah, but once you get into the forefoot, it will curl. But unless you catch the curl and have the top house weight, it's going to do something drastically different.
Easy. Whoa. Clean, clean, clean. Good. Great throw, Joe.
Line up with the yellow. Line's good. So on. Line's good. Have a look. Have a look. Easy. Easy. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Oh, yeah. 30 minutes. Yep. Nice.
Just no. Yeah, you know it, Joe. You got it, buddy.
Yep. Whoa.
Other way.
Dave. Dave, yep. Roll it. Hey.
So they made a double. They took their win in the house, but not a bad result because that rock really where it was, even though it was in the house, it was acting more of a guard. We mentioned how those rocks in the top 12, you have the ability to come around them.
Line's fine. Looks hot. Nice shot, Jordy.
Matt will just continue to peel these center line guards. He's not going to get too fancy here. Just keep it simple, keep it clean. He's up 2 width.
Clean. Yep.
Hard on the red. Watch the red.
Good. Stay close.
Well, we spoke that Team WILLSEY is going to go for the steal, so that's no surprise. And the Hall team would probably be looking for maybe their deuce or to score. A blank would be nice, but knowing the number of rocks in play, it's not quite in the cards yet.
A little more line. Wait only. Breathe. Yeah, that works.
Peel.
That guard coming a little bit too tight to the other one.
What?
Sets up a double peel here.
3/4 should do it.
I'm seeing the angles right too. The way it's looking, it doesn't look like they run the risk of they hit this top yellow rock on the outside and just peel a single. It doesn't look like there's any risk of jam on theirs either.
Yep! Yep! Hard! Hard! Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it! Beauty, Jeffrey!
I'm seeing a little bit of Brad Jacobs in our Matt Hall here today.
So maybe we'll hear "come on" at some point. You know what? That kind of enthusiasm is what this game needs.
I agree, 100%.
If you ever get a chance to sit down and chat with Matt, he's quite funny.
Yes, actually, I met Matt at one of the Bonspiels earlier on this year. Smart guy, very smart.
Taking math in university.
Yeah, yeah. Really nice guy.
I think so, yeah.
Said before, they bring the intensity on the ice, but off the ice, they're more laid back. Or oftentimes we'd come to the club and they might be the last team who's here.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everybody has a different timing, and
Yeah.
it goes to show. They take themselves very seriously, but also know how to take it down a notch.
Yes.
Yep. Board. We threw this a few ends ago, and it ran real straight. Yeah. Just board. Try and get the flop under if we can. Yeah. Coming this way, yeah. Yep.
So this 2 is alive and well for Team Hall. If they can get a roll in behind these 2 guards, 2 staggered guards.
Close. Whoa.
Yes! Hard! Whoa! 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 Deep! 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 Hard! Hard!
Good sweep.
I like that.
No worries.
So after all that noise, I'm not even too sure the sweepers could understand what was going on. I sure couldn't. But they rolled, but not enough, and they've left the door open here for the WILLSEY team. There's even space to roll. It will move off the center line.
Good or still?
Gee, you know, that curls another inch. He's got the roll. At least half of it buried.
So now this is blank attempt for the Hall team.
Yeah, peel. Yeah.
Yeah, a little ahead.
Peel, wait. Make sure we make contact and then. Yep.
Can't buy a roll.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Clean.
And that is a blank in N7. So Team Hall with the 4-2 lead will maintain the hammer in End 8. An update for you on the women's semifinal.
All right, boys, let's keep it up.
Team Wallingford has reclaimed the lead. They are up 5-3 over Team Little. It's Team Little with the hammer in end 8.
Yep. A little tight. Hey, line's fine then, line's fine.
It could also be, you know what I'm also thinking?
Yep. Yes, guys, yep. Make sure. Okay. Nice.
Line's good. Wait only, line's great. 5-6, line's great.
Back 4, back 8, back 8.
It's trying.
Can't yet. Back 12.
Where?
Go back 4.
It's really trying. Whoa. Whoa, no.
Okay, go!
Okay, that's fine, Davey.
That
Sorry, Jeff, my bad.
in between
Maybe try
Z,
and get to it
if
first.
you have to make a decision on those ones quick, that's, I hate to say it, but the worst place that you could have left the rock, right behind the button, only leaving space for one rock to sit on top of it.
Right on the tee.
But again, that's a decision. If as sweepers you think that's anywhere in the back of the house, you need to just take it back as far as you can. Right now, we're crunching the button, and for the Hall team, they have hammer. They don't really want the play to be right in the forefoot
Looks
right
hot.
now.
Looks hot. All you. Where? Line's good. All you. Line's real good. Tee line. Bit of room. Hard, guys. Hard. Go.
Line's good. Yep. Whoa, where? Yep. Whoa. Gotta go. Whoa, just freeze. Line's good. Whoa. Room. Just freeze. Line's great.
Harder if you can.
Yep.
Get to the inside. Yep.
Whoa. That's a beauty shot, David.
That is a beauty shot.
Yeah, and it's all about the angles on that shot.
Willsey, they need to throw a guard here, even though they don't have the angles lined up for them properly right at the moment. They are going to need a second guard, something to work with. That first guard they threw is pretty high, just over the hog line.
Tight. Yep.
And Matt's going to start peeling away
Line's good.
as soon as he gets the chance
Yep,
as well.
line.
So
Line's good. All you. Room. Clean. Jordy. Where? Have a look.
Whoa. Good.
And guard the yellow. Line's good. Line's fine. Over curling of anything. No. I don't think so. That's fine. Easy. Easy. Good.
I think everything's gonna work. Yeah. Okay, go, Joe.
Yeah, you gotta make that freeze.
Whoa.
You gotta make that freeze at the end.
No. No. Okay.
And that's where the active striking bands are coming in handy. It doesn't
Yeah.
take much.
No, barely
I
touched
tightened it
that
on
rock.
that one too. I'll do that. Yeah. Move the shot at least.
Overheard John having a conversation with Jordy about what's going to come next. So they decided at least one more guard, but it's going to have to, that means John's going to have to make a peach of a freeze on the rock on the back button.
Where? Where?
Just don't make it a shot.
Good, Jordy.
You like this turn? It looks easier.
So we have people from all over watching this game, and one of these people is Adam Kingsbury, who's the coach of Rachel Holman's team, who of course had just won the Tim Hortons Roar of the Rings and is headed to the Olympics representing Team Canada. And Adam's background in, he's got sports psychology and also a numbers guy. So he had some thoughts on the game that he was happy to share with us, and his thoughts is that from both sides, Hull will win this game if they can understand that the scoreboard heavily favors them right now. Though at the same time, when you're up and you're in a strong position, thoughts of what life will be like in 30 minutes from now if they hang on for a win could only be a distraction and get in the way of execution. So can't think too far ahead for either team. And even though they're up, they still have to be fine with winning the game on Matt's last rock in 10. Don't want to assume that the extra end is out of play, and it certainly isn't right now. He believes that teams can get shell-shocked sometimes when they have a comfortable lead and all of a sudden they're faced with the situation where they could lose. And for Team WILLSEY, they're going to have to collectively make every shot and play aggressive for the win. And he cites the ability for a team to make a comeback was the Haley Armstrong and Kristen Streifel final last year in the juniors. Shows you can play 8 perfect rocks and steal a win in a close game.
Wow.
So thank you so much, Adam, for your insight there. And it's coming from one of the top coaches in our sport. So
Yeah. And Adam's really, he's really done a lot for the Holman team.
completely.
Yeah, I think he's brought them to the next level. I mean, of course, they had Earl Morris for years, who made them into a great team.
Yes, we've got Earl sitting about 15 feet from him. He's the next-gen coach for Team Wallingford, so he's the mentor coach. So Earl brought, when he was coaching them, he brought a different side of the game to the team, and Adam's now bringing another one. He uses stats and analysis for the games and really makes a difference. It's a different style of coaching than what you might think of for a typical curling coach, but he is very much so out there. He's on the ice with them during practices, and that may be something that a lot of people don't realize. And he does curl himself. He does like people to know he does curl. Plays in the league at the Ottawa.
Yeah. Yeah, it just shows how our sport is evolving. You know, a lot of the other professional sports are heavily into the sports psychology part of the game. And Now curling is catching on to that. I mean, if any game is a very mental game, it is curling.
Very
as
much.
opposed to a lot of sports.
Oh, very much so. These players out here can make any shot. Now, can they do it when they need to?
Exactly. I don't know if we talked about this, Danielle, but let's just have a listen in here.
If he throws it soft, maybe we could just. I don't think. Okay, he's got nothing on this side. If we play that. No. Well, that's. Okay, what do you like? What's your shot? I was thinking. Okay. I think that, yeah. I think that's helping him. I think we're opening that up. I was gonna say, I don't think he's got anything on this side. I think his only shot is shooting that one. We could just throw it like here, it would be perfect. He can't get shot wrong. He's range one, and that's what we want. That's tough, and it's risky because I could leave a double and. Okay, so we got those shot is another like if you can get. I don't know if it. Do we just throw a guard? I was thinking a guard. Yeah, but I think the four's going this way. I think the four goes past. Can we ever do something like this?
Can you guys show a different
You can, but you're just gonna open up this. I think it's real good right now, Matt. One's the goal. All we need is one. Do we just guard? I think so.
a bit?
I think if anything, Matt. Yeah, no, but I think perfect is like this. But all we need is one, Joe. That's the gun goal. You don't want two. Okay. Well, I know. But let's get. I agree. Let's make sure we guard the run first. Yeah. Let's just make sure we guard the run first, and then if it's perfect. Once I guarded the run. What do you think for line ice here? On this side, I don't think we have. I think around here should be close, depending on how. Because based on last game. To guard the one, I like that. Yeah, I really like that ice man. I think that's really good. Where do you want? Like ideal's right here, halfway. Right? Yeah, halfway is really good. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Looks good. All right, boys, let's make this. Speed's good.
All right, great conversation by the team here. They recognize that WILLSEY doesn't really have a shot to get shot, and basically they didn't want to throw a rock that would give him a shot. So,
just off center, I think.
So this is a scoreboard shot. Heard WILLSEY say that they thought their rock picked, so they said same kind of throw with the pick again, and they would be able to curl in.
Take a look. Line's great. Where are we? Okay, that's fine. We're going to stagger the one right now. Hey, Joe. Yep. Whoa. Really good. No, that's real good.
I don't know how to put a broom. We were what, like right here? Yeah. There? I don't mind a little bit more. We can be half open. Okay.
It looks like they are still trying to draw Mary, and I don't know if I fully saw the moment when they thought it picked, but judging from what we've seen on some other rocks inside the 4-foot line, it moves more aggressively than many other spots on the ice, and we've heard the word pick referred to a few times, and it was just the curl that it gets there. Yeah. Now the trouble here is that getting into a straighter spot, so they have to be careful with this release.
Yep, yep.
Hard.
All the way.
Again, lots of curl in that spot.
Yeah, I thought he threw, I mentioned be careful with the release, you can't put it out, and I thought he almost helped it slightly, which is what you needed.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that would have been pretty close. But this is a draw for 2 for Team Hall.
I was out to it. It was heavy.
Try and take 2. And then we'll do our old double corner.
Yeah.
See what we can get. Make them try and play against the loss at least.
Yep.
Good way to put it. Test them.
I think it's close. Wait only. Line's great. Wait only.
Tight as you can go.
Line's great. Wait only. You can go. Line's great, boys. Line's great. Yep. Yep. No, line's great. Wait only. Wait only. Line's good. Line's good. Make sure. Make sure. Line's great.
And it's another fist pump for Matt. He picks up a deuce in end 8, so they lead Team Willsey 6-2. Team Willsey with the hammer in end number 9.
No, I don't think so.
And a quick update on the women's semifinal game happening on the sheet beside. After
What do you think? Am I rolling?
Team Wallingford picked up the deuce in end 7.
I'm the only
Team
one.
Little was forced to single in end 8, and they're trailing Team Wallingford 5-4. Team Wallingford with the hammer in end 9.
Line's good. Line's good. Wait only. Wait only. Line's good. Wait. Make sure. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard, boys. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It's curling. It's curling. Yep. 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 Make sure. Yep. Go deep. Go deep. Go deep. Yep. 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 That's good, Davey. Hey, Dave. I don't think we need one. Let's do it. Whatever you guys like. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it.
Line's good. Bit of room. Bit of room.
So we're going to have to see a ton of aggressive play out of the Willsey team this end. They really need to score to put them in a realistically comfortable space, even a 3.
Yeah.
The being down 1, scoring a 3, being down 1 without, you can score a single, steal a single point. Much tougher to score more than a single in this steal situation.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, go then. Line's good. Line's good. Line's great. Come on. Hard, boys. Hard, boys. Come on. Whoa. Yep, yep, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just keep them lined up. Keep them lined up. That's good, David.
John's going to put up another corner guard on the other side.
Line's good. Even. Or really high. Easy. Okay. Oh.
Sam. You said steep.
close. Yep. Oh. Yep. Yep. Yes. Get it.
They were on and off that sweeping call, but
no
single
worries.
single one.
Good throw. That was a great throw, Joe. I love it.
Love those positive comments from Matt.
You do. You like to hear that from your skip.
You always get the feeling when you talk to Matt, it's so genuine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think he is. Yeah.
Line's good. Even. Right here, guys.
Do you want the same one?
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard.
Roll it, roll it. Yep, 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 yep. That's okay, Joe. That's good. Yeah, it's really good, Joe.
Made contact with both rocks, pushed the yellow over, but still 2 guards in play, and Connor Laws is going to go down to have a chat with skipper.
Yeah, no, he threw a really good one there, so I like it.
That side. Come back here.
I'm not drawing
Do a
around.
slide draw.
What?
I think I like another corner. I can kill one more. Yeah, I think.
No.
So you heard they're going to try to put one more guard up before they start making plays on the other rocks. As we mentioned, they really need 3 on this end, so
they do.
they need to look
Yeah.
for ways to generate a bigger end.
3.
Three's good. Okay, go right here. You're still a guard. Okay, here. Yep, 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 yep. Hip.
Yep. Yep.
Drag it out. Drag it out. Drag it out.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's
Roll it
a
if you
nose
can.
hit.
Okay, that's fine, Jeff.
And that is what the WILLSEY team had hoped and needed to have happen. So now they have 3 guards in play for them. Plus the two rocks in the rings that they can use. Some people would think that those rocks in the rings on the center line are not good for the WILLSEY team, but as a matter of fact, even though they are in a good position right now and they'll have to address them, they can manipulate them to use if needed. And it's a timeout called by the WILLSEY team, so they were calling the come around, and secondary started talking about the rocks in the center. Coach Matt stood up and indicated timeout. Now, Coach can indicate the timeout all they want from back here, but it's got to be called from the players on the ice. So we'll listen into their discussion.
Okay. I think we open up our surface area for scoring.
Hit and do that?
I mean, different.
But then it's a shorter run.
No,
But it's a short run there, too.
Run
Yeah.
there.
I just want to open up the 8 foot, I think, because we're just trying to score 2 and then try and get a couple of corner guards up there.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking we get our rocks spread out. It's a little easier to draw than to make the roll. I don't know. I was almost like that is another shot too. If you'd ever make that out turn.
And then we open up the draw.
Okay. Oh, I just don't want to spray it under.
I mean, rocks are lively enough to be able to get a hair high.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we all got on the same page here. Yeah. What do you really like, Jim?
I'm indifferent.
You're indifferent?
My first instinct was to come around, but I mean, I don't mind opening up the scoring area a bit. It's just the roll's a tougher shot.
I think those Red Rocks are helping us at this point. We need to plan to try and get a 3 here somehow, right?
3 or 2?
Well, I think you have a chance here for a 3. If we make this come around, he's going to try and peel. He has many ways of that peeling to the rocks, right? Like, those Red Rocks could attempt actually help us if something comes into it and peels when he's throwing the field. I just don't think we need to manipulate it at this point because the rock's only in the 8. I'm indifferent on either draw. I think this is the draw because it's forcing him to come after this draw.
Can we play it?
Back 8, back 4.
If you know how to get there. Well, you can be fully to back.
Yeah.
We may use both timeouts here too.
So if we go here, sequence.
And then he hits and rolls on there, and then we play the double under. Yeah, we're going to call it. Like, do you like that? If we play this draw, he peels.
And Jordy's throwing, so I like the draw. I like the hit too.
I don't think we need to hit on the 5.
And
like, I think we draw.
Team WILLSEY has taken their second time out of the game, and they're taking it back-to-back with their first.
I think so, because we can draw. Like, I don't think that rock's taking away our scoring area.
Yeah, I like that. If we
Yeah.
go back 8, top 8, sit 3, or sit 2 by the time he hits there.
So we want to come back 4?
Back four is perfectly. Even if you're full back 8, it's not bad. You got to make sure
we
you're
yeah, we have to count that.
Ideally, if you're not, it's not the end of the world. We use it in the house area.
Do we know the speed out there? Because that's wider than we've gone all game.
It is.
We've been grinding a bit, 95 maybe.
Okay.
Okay, go well. Let's go.
Yeah, let's make a couple shots. I like this. Yeah, let's go.
Right, so a great discussion with all the options left out on the table, and they used those 2 timeouts back to back, but it was, and you'd wonder why would they burn both of them at once, but this is a really crucial and pivotal end. If they're not able to generate a 3 in this end, the way we've been seeing the whole team play, I would say it's close to game over.
Yeah.
But never say never. But but they recognize that fact too, and that's why they're taking those crucial timeouts now.
And I think they came to the right decision here, Danielle.
I agree. Those rocks aren't posing them a threat right now. They're going to have to deal with them potentially, but.
Room right now.
They can get these rocks in a good position. Use the guards that are already in play.
Yep. Hard. Really hard.
Move the red, Matt.
Hard.
Move the red.
Yeah, you got to. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Got something out of it is right. The
Peel,
rock
try
curled
and-
more than they expected, but they managed to get a piece on the rings.
I got thin, half half, not quite half.
That's fine. If you get the guard, you're going to disturb this, which is what we want.
So I think we go after it. If I get the top guard, at least if he makes the triple, he's out of the range, and then I can nose the other one, right? I like this.
Yep. Hard!
Okay, good.
Yep, they need to get rid of one of those two. So taking the guards, that's fine. That rock, that yellow rock, his third shot. So the Willsey team will have to deal with them eventually.
Yep. Yeah, line. Line's good, line's good. Clean. Oh. Where? Yep. Hard, gotta go.
Hard!
Right out. Yep.
And they were going hard for the plan B, the redirect off the corner, and that's a tough break.
Yeah.
If we can roll to here, that's perfect. I don't think there's a bad place we can roll here at this point, Jeff. Peel. Intern. I don't think there's a bad place we can roll here, boys. So if we can try and roll like right beside it so we have the run. That's pretty good. If we roll out, that's fine. Or if we nose, that's fine too. In. Peel.
So I said there, I don't think there's a bad place we can roll to, and that's just based on the number of rocks that are left for Team Willsey. They only have the 2 skipper rocks left, and as we talked about throughout this end, 2 is fine, but they really need 3.
Yeah, that works. I probably have it, actually. If he ever makes this, we'll just follow him down. If he makes it for shot.
Now, what the Willsey team has going for them is the way these 3 rocks are set up at the top of the house. They are in a position where the overlap is causing a great situation. So if they can get one buried in behind here, the whole team would not be able to get at it.
Yeah.
There. Yep. Oh. Clean. Oh.
That's true. If you can get it out.
Oh.
A spot where it's hanging.
Does it really matter?
Pardon me?
Oh, okay.
Spot where it's hanging out there,
Yeah.
and they kept thinking it would curl, and it never did.
I know.
Unfortunately.
Well, how does he get 2?
Yeah, okay, well, we can just throw a guard then. Just throw a guard.
Why not just come in and sit?
Because guard's
2.
easier.
I just threw this last time.
All right, well, or you just go open side. Well, no, I don't like playing on this side of the sheet because if you ever
then if he does
because
that.
if you ever come up light and he just does that, you're just giving him a shot. You're not you're not.
Boys, let's make it. I just threw it last time. Let's do it.
Well, you gotta be careful though after coming out the rings though. Like okay, yeah, okay.
No, heavy's fine.
Okay.
So it's a good situation where the thrower has the last decision on that, and the last decision is the skipper's. But I agree with the safe call from I believe it was Jeff, just saying if you just throw a guard on what do they do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this shot, if you make it perfectly, and you get one sucked in behind there, you might just be a game winner. But if you leave it anywhere where it could be doubled off and with your other shot rock, it's trouble. So that's where you have to be very precise with this shot. You heard Matt say heavy if anything. So here we go.
I gave you a bit. Line's fine. Room. No, leave it high, guys. Room. No. Whoa. No, you're on the red. David. Keep it straight and just roll the shooter.
And Matt's rock reacted just like the Willsey team's rock down that path. Just so hard to...
It's fine, Jeff. Worst case scenario, he gets a deuce, which is what we wanted anyways, right?
Can you...
Andy's got a hit on the high side, which means he probably spins up, too. That's fine. That one was really for me, but I want to keep my head.
Can't really... Can't get that shooter into outcount if we play that.
Maybe two.
How was that weight? Like, where would it have depended up if there was an error? That shot was all for me, boys, just to keep my draw weight intact, you know?
So an interesting comment from Matt about why he played that shot. He when just told his team that he really wanted to keep his draw weight, so that's why also played that shot. And they decide the in-off isn't there, so this is a draw for the single.
Easy. Fell there.
Well, we'll throw them both through, and all we have to do is make all that through. Yeah, Jeff.
And that is the game with a steal of one and a final score of 7-2. It is Team Hall off to represent Ontario at the National Championship in Shawinigan, Quebec, January 13th through 21st.
And now the celebration starts. These guys are going to be happy, and they're going to be happy to get back to that Canadian Championship, having lost it last year in the final. They get another chance at it.
And they've gone through the qualifiers, they've gone through the provincial. They're back-to-back provincial champions and now have a chance to defend and get back to that final in the Canadian champions and perhaps bring home the gold for Ontario.
Yeah, so that concludes our feature game here today. Tune back in with us at 5:30 today, and we are going to be streaming the ladies' final. What we do know is that Team Murphy is in it, and with Wallingford up 4 right now, playing the 10th end, looking like she will be in the final as well.
So thank you so much for all of our viewers for watching our coverage of the 2017 Ontario U21 Curling Championships, brought to you by Curl On. On behalf of Mary, myself, and our entire TSL crew, we wish you a good afternoon from the Annandale Golf and Curling Club. This has been a presentation of Title Sports Live.